Previously on Primetime Wrestling. With a fresh crop of new and exciting superstars eager to make names for themselves.
All right, let's do this.
What will the mainstay veterans say and do in these swelling, shark-infested waters? Hello fans and welcome to Primetime Wrestling.
Now where is our precious Primetime Wrestling Commissioner? 'Cause I got a bone to pick with you, buddy. Get up, get your ass in this ring right now. Hey, shut the hell up before I smack you in the face. Let me get this straight.
Hold your ground, Commissioner.
Punch each other!
Last month, in the main event, I beat Chaz fair and square in the middle of this ring. 1, 2, 3. Hey, I'm not done. I'm not done talking. I am not done talking. Shut up. I beat Chaz in the middle of this ring. 1, 2, 3. And I earned my shot at the Primetime Wrestling Championship. That title, back in November, I beat the Black Stallion, and I should be the Primetime Wrestling Champion. I beat the Black Stallion fair and square, and then some referee wanted to come stick his nose in my business and take my match away from me. So after I win the main event last month, I earned my shot. I've been training for the past month, putting hours in the gym, dieting, hours in the ring, and then I show up and I find out that you took my match away from me? Before I have John Johnson drive your skull into this mat, I want to hear an explanation from you.
Fair and square, questionable, but you won that main event. You have put out match after match. You've had some phenomenal matches in this ring. But every chance you've had to win that belt, you've squandered and you've lost those opportunities.
You don't need to listen to him.
There is no question you are a fantastic wrestler. However, we've got a locker room full of the best talents out there.
Not this damn good.
And tonight, we're going to give one of those guys in the locker room back there the opportunity.
That music can only mean one thing.
Business is about to pick up.
Well put, here comes Lenny Lane, the, figurehead of this organization, Primetime Wrestling. Welcome, everyone. I'm Mark Mantell, alongside Donnie Colfax.
Indeed you are, Mark. Indeed you are. And look at those fans showing that respect that is owed to the great Lenny Lane.
That's right, it is a packed house here tonight at the Knights of Columbus Hall, and we are awaiting what Lenny Lane has to say to Sheik Arya Davari and John Johnson.
It's Lenny Lane again. Yeah, what do you want?
You know what? Finally, Primetime Wrestling has come to the realization that Lenny Lane has waited far too long for his championship match. Finally, Primetime Wrestling realizes who puts the butts in the seats. So, Commissioner, I'll let you make this announcement and tell all these people how tonight's main event will be the heavyweight champion of the world, Black Stallion, versus L-E-double-N-Y, L-A-single-N-E. Tell them.
We've already got a match on the card for you tonight. You're taking on Mikey Wipeout. You don't get a title shot.
Listen. I got the lambs back in the corner. Give them a shout out to the smartest people in the building. Kid, if you don't sit down, I'm gonna beat your dad up after the show. Oh, I'm not taking away anything from Mikey Wipeout. He's a great contender. He's an up-and-comer. Well, let me tell you, he can go hang 10 or 2 in his case.
It might be. It could be. Yes.
This man lost to Aria last time these two were in the ring. What does he expect now? Loser.
I'm sure that
He doesn't belong in the ring with champions the like of Davari.
I'm sure there's some in the arena
Johnson.
who would disagree with
don't want
that.
any more of this.
Aria,
It's on.
you know that your victory last month was clearly tainted by this man. Okay? Now I know I haven't been here long. I haven't been here long.
Give him this mic.
Fact remains,
He doesn't need it.
the fact remains that I did represent this country in the Olympics this summer in London.
That's the general opinion of the crowd here tonight. The USA chants ringing out amongst the crowd here.
They prove my point once again, don't they, Mark?
Davari wants to hear none of it.
Excuse me for dating models and missing the last show.
Mark, I don't want to.
But what was your name again? I missed it.
Chaz Betts.
Listen, Joe, you're not going to come in here and tell me and interrupt me and tell me all of your accomplishments. This is professional wrestling. If you want to talk about accomplishments, I happen to be my 6th grade checker champion. But what does that mean? This is pro wrestling. Commissioner, make the match. Make it Lenny Lane, Black Stallion. Let's hear it.
Lenny, your match coming up later tonight against Mikey Wipeout. You might want to go back and get ready for it. World Championship match. We're going to figure out who that challenger is. And Chaz, your match is up next.
There you have it. There's the setup by Commissioner McMahon. We'll have all the action coming up after this. High Voltage Radio. Bloomington's #1 radio show is now also a podcast. Every week, Brian Johnson and Brian Schroeder interview exciting guests like Dive Kick World Champion Ben Chandler, Giovanni Peluso from Corolla Digital, and iGameResponsibly.com's Editor-in-Chief Dylan Zelber. For all the video game and wrestling news and nonsensical nonsense, Join the Brothers of Bloomington on High Voltage Radio, Fridays at 11:10 Central. Available on iTunes. Welcome back, fans, to Primetime Wrestling. I'm Mark Mantell, along with Donnie Colfax. Welcome to the show. It was a hijack there for a brief moment by Sheik Ariadavari, and we are now getting set.
Call it that if you want, Mark. I simply call it a man exercising his First Amendment rights as an American.
But nonetheless, here is our first matchup. It is Zero Kincaid being brought to the ring by the lovely Ann Brookstone.
Zero has been proving himself to me continually here in PTW.
His opponent will be the Olympian Chaz Betts. Laszlo in the ring calling the action, and the referee is here. We are ready for the bell to sound and for action to get underway here at the Knights of Columbus Hall in Bloomington, Minnesota.
It should make for some unique action in the ring tonight, considering the unorthodox style of Zero meeting the collegiate professional style.
He's not even
of one
professional
contrast, to say the least.
Yeah, something that I feel that Chaz Betts is going to be a big mountain for Zero to overcome. This kid has been to one of the biggest dances of all the dances, the Olympics.
Indeed, Chaz Betts has proved himself on several occasions in several arenas. And we will see what happens here in this first matchup.
Our next match, number 1 fall, 15-minute time limit. In this corner, in the blue trunks, black stripes, accompanied in the ring by Anna Brookstone. Weighing in 245 pounds from Falcon Heights, Minnesota, he is Zero Kincaid.
Zero not receiving the adulation that perhaps he thought he would here tonight.
These fans are not at all a fan of him at all. Not one bit. However, I feel like he's going to get it from him. Loud and clear.
From St. Michael, Minnesota. Weighing in at 185 pounds, he is your Olympic hero, Chaz Betts.
Listen to him grow. Here for Chaz Betts. They love a true Olympic hero.
Mark, get down there with them. You're cheering just like they are. You're one of them.
One of them, you say. There they
Throw
go.
on with them.
Hear the chants go throughout the crowd here. They love Chaz Betts. And does she have on her mind now?
I'm from the USA.
That's what I was going to say.
That is a good point.
I came here tonight to wrestle this little chump and this other girl. What was her name? Lily whatever. I don't care what her name is. She calls up 5 minutes before this show and says she's hurt. But you know the truth. She is afraid of Ann Brookstone. She was afraid.
I do not blame her. She seems belligerent and angry at this point.
Indeed, that's the case. Maybe a bit of a chip on her shoulder as well.
I think you might have hit the nail right on the head.
The crowd letting her have it now. They want her to, quote, shut up. We'll see if she responds.
Oh, I got a feeling with her mouth, she's going to respond.
Well, they're hurting her feelings, she said.
What kind of fans want to hurt someone's feelings? What kind of people are they? Questionable.
So we came up with this idea that both Zero Kincaid and I are gonna take on this little shrimp, this Olympic hero who we don't even care about.
One thing I'm not questioning.
I trained with this kid. I taught him everything I know. We are professional wrestlers. He is an amateur wrestler. He shouldn't even be in the ring with us.
I'm sure he feels differently
It's his fault. It's his fault.
He clearly is.
Hey, Chaz, why didn't you bring your medal? Oh, that's right, you didn't get one.
Zing, she does nail him with that.
So here's the thing. His partner was scared, so the two of us are just gonna fight.
It looks like it's the medalist Olympic hero taking on the dynamic duo of Ann Brookstone and Zero Kincaid. I gotta give it to Miss Brookstone. She's got some guts, some internal fortitude to be willing to take on the likes of Chaz Betts, an Olympic wrestler. He is trained and well-versed in a variety of suplexes and holds. He is dangerous once that bell rings.
Which it just has, and we are ready to get it on here tonight. That was the first bell of the evening, and look at that disdain for the crowd from Ann Brookstone. Zero Kincaid and Chaz Betts squaring off now. We'll see how this match initiates itself. Immediately with a suplex.
Takes him down. I share Ann's disdain for these fans when they just chant mindlessly on and on.
Chaz Betts early upper hand here against Zero Kincaid, displaying the, shall I say, superior wrestling skills. I mean, let's face it, Zero never went to the Olympics.
No, he did not. And Chaz is definitely going to succeed and take Zero out of this matchup if he keeps him on the ground.
And Zero Kincaid just backed him up into a corner, using his weight to his advantage.
But just as I was speaking, Zero did just that. He is capitalizing.
And a diving clothesline by Chaz Betts takes him down. Nice drop kick.
I wasn't
Follows him
convinced.
up right there. And just like that, the pendulum has swung back in the direction of Chaz Betts.
Zero was not looking too confident, a little too joyful to have the upper hand. And that'll cost you.
Betts has him now. Looks to be, is he going to do the famous 10 hammering aways? Nicely done by Chaz Betts. Has Zero reeling, wobbling around like he has no sense of direction at the moment.
How can you after...
But he has the wherewithal to switch it up and take down Chaz Betts with a clothesline.
I am pulling the foot out of my mouth as Chaz is pulling the boots off his forehead again. Zero capitalized beautifully after that succession of shots to the head. He had the wherewithal you were speaking of to just lay into Chaz with a beautiful clothesline.
And the contrast in styles is really on display here now. More of a brawler seems to be the demeanor of Zero Kincaid versus the technical wrestling style of Chaz Betts. It mixes well for a matchup like this.
It does, and it's going to mix very well for Zero if he can keep this vertical advantage he's got
Oh,
going.
and look at that, and Brookstone choking out Chaz Betts on the middle rope. Come on, ref.
I'm seeing a ref here getting in between these two superstars trying to engage in competition.
And now Zero with the upper hand yet again, clubbing away on the back of Chaz Betts, keeping him in that prone position. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. No, Chaz Betts kicks out after 2.
If there's one thing I could say about Rob Page, our official in this matchup, he treats that squared circle sometimes like a coffee shop and gets in between these wrestlers and wants to have a conversation, and it costs good men matchups.
I don't know about that. Rob Page, one of the best in the region at what he does. Zero Kincaid now continuing the onslaught, driving the head right into the top turnbuckle. Devastating velocity on that headshot. And look at those big clubs, forearms. Drives the shoulder right into the midsection of Betts now, knocking the wind out of him. Yet again, what is Zero gonna do here? Very methodical.
This isn't good. That's that look I saw earlier when I was doubting if he was going to be able to hold on to the advantage.
And what's going on now? Brookstone back in the ring.
There's Rob Page having a conversation, buddy with Zero Kincaid.
And a suplex by Brookstone onto the Olympic hero Chaz Betts. That may have just cost him the matchup. Will you turn around, ref? Will you look at what's going on right behind you?
He's too busy having a conversation with Zero about what he wants to get to drink or eat after the show.
Give me a break. And look at this maneuver now. The unique style again by Zero Kincaid has deadly ramifications when you face plant onto the canvas in such a manner. What say you, Johnny Colfax?
It'll end the matchup quickly. We'll find out right now if it can.
And a 2 count only.
No, Rob is not going to get those half-priced abs he loves so much.
And look at this now, wrenching back on the neck of Chaz Betts. A bit of a camel clutch here. I wonder if Chaz Betts is going to have the means to crawl out of this. He's pretty far away from those ropes.
And Zero's letting him up. I do not know if that was the best decision.
Chaz Betts fighting back now against the ropes, but he takes him down with an elbow, and Zero Kincaid is right back on top and just keeps stopping that momentum that Chaz Betts continually tries to get going.
He telegraphed him there, it seemed like. He had a sense that Chaz was going to bounce off those ropes back at him, and he delivered it.
And he has him wrenched up really tightly now.
There we go, Zero. Mock these people. Again, Zero Kincaid is a United States citizen.
He is, so it's really, kind of like anyone chanting USA is really chanting for the both of them.
There we go, exactly. Here are some of those smart fans.
And he drives the elbow right into the head of Chaz Betts, keeping the disorientation going, making it impossible for Betts to mount any sort of an offense here.
Surprising from the guy who plays Dungeons and Dragons on the weekend.
Here's what's not surprising is Ann Brookstone getting back in the ring, interjecting herself, and a scoop slam down to the canvas. This is 2-on-1 here.
You want to know what's surprising is I was speaking to Zero when he was on his way to the arena inside tonight, and he told me that he was giving up his position as Dungeon Master of his D&D friendship group in order to put more time in the ring and in the gym so he could become PTW champion. He told me that is one of his career goals.
That has got to be the ultimate holy grail in this business, is that Primetime Wrestling Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, this is incredible action to start us off here in Bloomington. You are watching Primetime Wrestling. Headbutt now to Chaz Betts, but Betts comes right back with a fist to the midsection and a chop to the head. He has Zero Kincaid reeling. He is coming back. Come on, Chaz, you can do it. And he kicks him right in the chest.
Come on, Mark, show a little impartiality in this. If you don't want to, you can get out of this booth up here with me and sit down there on the floor.
Clothesline, a series of them now has the fans in the corner.
Whoa
Betts,
there.
and look at that suplex by Betts. He's gonna follow it up with another one. There he goes flying. My goodness, that was an incredible maneuver. What? Oh, no.
There's Rob doing what he does best. I think he wants the nachos.
I think you're blaming this too much on the official and not enough on that Jezebel at ringside.
She's simply doing her job, Mark. I don't know why you're hating her for that.
And what's
Trying
this
to
now?
help Zero as much as she can.
Betts is going to try to have him up for a German suplex, it looks like, but Brookstone is hanging on. There he goes with that German suplex. 1, 2.
Beautiful arc by Those were amazing suplexes.
That was fantastic. I didn't know if he had him or not there. Turns out he did. Your winner is Chaz Betts. Let's look at those suplexes again.
Trifecta just at the end of the match. You're seeing him here. And that final German spelled the end with the 3 count. Look at that arc.
He just folded up Zero Kincaid numerous times. And
Yes,
what's this now? Wait a second. This is John Johnson and Aria Daivari, and he just spared Chaz Betts. Get out of that ring. Aria Daivari down. Hammering away on Chaz Betts. Man, talk about a chip on your shoulder.
He is simply proving and leaving no doubt that his victory over Chaz Betts last time was not a fluke.
Not moments after Betts won this matchup, Johnson and Daivari were on him like a pack of dogs. Incredible. And Johnson comes crashing down across the neck of Chaz Betts. I've not seen anything like this. Oh, and a kick. A kick right to the face. You can hear it all the way up here.
He just kicked his head off with that gorgeous super kick.
And isn't he proud of himself? My goodness, folks, we will be back with more Primetime Wrestling right after this. to Primetime Wrestling. We are set for our main event here tonight, and that is the music of Mikey Wipeout.
And he will soon be joined by Lenny Lane in this main event set up by our commissioner earlier this evening.
That's right, and there he is. The fans love Mikey Wipeout.
I think Mikey Wipeout loves Mikey Wipeout.
That is well put. He is definitely a confident young man. The crowd loves him. He is always one to have fun with the youngsters at ringside. He's always one to show the true meaning of sportsmanship.
The one question I have in regards to this, though, is does Mikey have enough to take out someone the likes of Lenny Lane, a cornerstone of the Monday Night Wars?
Some might say a legend in this business. Lenny Lane, a man known the world over.
Anyone with half a brain would say that. But considering where we're at right now, Mark, I think your statement is apt with this fan base.
Well, the crowd does love Mikey Wipeout here. We will see if he has what it takes to compete against Lenny Lane. This is tonight's main event. It's set to be incredible action. Mikey Wipeout enters the ring now.
The mesh of these two styles, they're going to come together much like the other match, but in a different way we had earlier. The high-flying style of Wipeout meeting the technical skills of Lenny Lane.
Not to mention the added years of ring expertise.
That is true.
In that regard. And there it is, the music of Lenny Lane.
It brings a smile to my face and joy to my heart to hear that opening riff.
Well, Lenny Lane is about to make his presence known. There's his fans. Lenny's Lamb, said one of the signs.
And there is the man himself, the legend. I dare say myth in some people's eyes because his greatness is unbelievable to some. Not to me, though.
Lenny Lane has wrestled his share of matches, and he will have one here tonight against Mikey Wipeout, a relative newcomer. And as you said before, the styles should mesh well, should prove to be a good matchup here tonight.
It is relative. Lenny Lane is a ring general who has been around the world many times over.
Lane awful confident in his abilities, and why wouldn't he?
I think his confidence is overshadowing the confidence we saw on display by Wipeout on his entrance here in front of these fans.
Yes, he's taking moments to talk with the fans, almost not really showing too much concern for the task at hand.
And the looks on those fans is that of awe, really truly awe that they are witnessing. They are in front of the greatness that is Lenny Lane.
I just wonder how much of that time is spent by Lane in front of a mirror, awing himself.
Why don't you go ask him yourself, Mark? You don't have the cojones?
Ladies and gentlemen, this match now for one fall,
Well, that remains to be
15
seen.
time limit.
It does remain to be seen, Mark. Why don't you act upon that and just quit speaking about it?
From Orange, County, California, he is Mikey Wipeout.
Very much into Mikey
And
Wipeout
the
here
purple
tonight.
trunks weighing in at 222 pounds from Tampa, Florida. He is Lenny Lane.
Hoping to maybe get more from the crowd.
He certainly deserves more from these people.
Not quite a chorus of boos, but a mixture, maybe, if you will.
It was certainly a mixed reaction.
Referee Rob Page checking the boots now, making sure that Lane has no outside weapons or anything of the sort.
Upon reflection, I am a little bit happy to hear some of those spattered and scattered cheers throughout the crowd for Lenny Lane. It's nice to see some converts join me and proud to say they are amongst Lenny Lane's lambs. I am a proud lamb indeed.
I don't know if anyone ever questioned the athletic ability of Lenny Lane, maybe sometimes perhaps just the sportsmanship angle.
I guess you could say that the man is one ring talented general. He owns that squared circle. There is no look of doubt in this man's eyes. Confidence on display when he walked out, and that confidence remains in the ring.
And now we start off with Lane getting the better of Mikey, kind of shoving him back into the corner of the collar and elbow tie-up position. Lane now taking a bit of time to converse again with the crowd. Mikey Wipeout wants to just get going with this matchup.
That's what a kid wants to do, is rush to his demise. Let him have it, Lenny.
Nice reversal from Mikey there. Lane was going to take him down, but Mikey rolled right through it and has him in a hold of his own.
The question, though, really remains to be seen is that of the fact that can Wipeout capitalize on those opportunities?
We will see. Lane is the seasoned veteran he is. He knows his way around the ring. He knows how to escape out of certain holds. Has him in a tight wrist lock now. That's got to be painful when applied properly the way a veteran like Lane would.
Those hotshot moves on display by Wipeout that he constantly shows us here in the Knights of Columbus Hall will get you cheers, but they will not necessarily get you W's.
And by W's, he means victories.
The only thing that matters in this sport.
That is true. Look at that, though. That's where the skills of Mikey can really pay dividends. That maneuverability of his in the ring. He just flipped right out of that hold and now has Lane in a rather precarious position.
The detractors of Mikey Wipeout are not speaking about his athletic abilities, Mark. We are talking about the mental acumen of the man. Lenny Lane has proven time and time again why he is who he is.
But it looks as though Mikey is right on par with Lenny Lane, as he had him in a head scissors there. And takes him down again. And Lane showing frustration now, banging on the canvas. Lane's got to be thinking to himself, I wasn't prepared necessarily for the technical skills by Mikey Wipeout.
I think you're trying to do what you do best, Mark. And that is mitigate Lenny Lane. You know for a fact this man studies tapes. He does not at all underplay his opponent. He treats every opponent as a true threat to him and his ambitions to be world champion. The best at what he does. The best in the sport of professional wrestling.
Arm drag takeover by Mikey Wipeout chases Lenny Lane to the outside.
No surprise for Mark. No comment. No comment.
And Lane now taking a breather, a moment to clear his thoughts perhaps.
He's collecting. His battle plan might have changed slightly, but that is the sign of a ring general. Not afraid to change it up if that is what's needed in order to achieve the victory.
Lane needs to make it back into the ring by the 10 count to resume this matchup, and the referee will allow no leeway on that. Mikey waiting patiently in the ring. Say what you will about Mikey, but he has the nerve to stay in there toe-to-toe with Lenny Lane and fight it out.
He's not really fighting to get out there and get to Lenny Lane. I think Mikey might be a little bit afraid. Look at him. He doesn't seem too eager. Look at that look on his face.
Are you suggesting maybe Lane wants to take this out to the outside and have a bit more of a rough kind of match?
I don't know what Lane is thinking exactly. It's hard to read him at this point. He does seem a bit surprised.
Lane back into the ring now. Let's see if we can get this one going.
I'm a bit surprised as well. Wipeout is beginning to pull out all the stops in this attempt to knock off Lenny Lane from top of the mountain in which he stands, the PTW mountain, the best in indie wrestling mountain when it comes to Minnesota.
Mikey Wipeout taunting Lane now. Nice drop toe hold, takes down Lane.
Oh, come on.
Takes a moment to showboat. Oh, there you go. That's a nice answer to that. Mikey Wipeout now in control. Lane back to the outside.
I think what Lane is doing right now is really questioning in his head why this referee is not reprimanding Mikey Wipeout for the showboating going on.
Well, there's no rule against showboating in the ring, and Lane, I can assure you, will be doing just the same thing if he has his chance.
Let me be the first to say it on record here on the air. I would like to bring it to the PTW committee to outlaw showboating during a match. It is unnecessary.
Well, they have that rule in football. Perhaps they should bring it into the squared circle.
With folks like Wipeout in the ring, they need to.
Lane now, a smile on his face. Looks like he is back to normal psychologically after that brief respite, if you will. Wipeout, though, showing no signs of backing down. Is this going to be a test of strength? That's what Lane looks like is on his mind.
And I don't think it was a respite of conditioning. These men are in great physical condition. Again, it goes back to if Wipeout has it inside his mind, he believes it in his heart. He can take Lenny Lane out. 1, 2, 3.
And Mikey Wipeout there was just about to oblige in the test of strength, but Lane backed away at the last moment. I don't know if these are mind games being played now by Lane.
I do not want to give away trade secrets, so I will bite my tongue.
Lane is definitely the more psychological of the two competitors, being the seasoned veteran he is. And now we have both locked up, and here we go. Who's going to get the better? These two men are jockeying for position now. Lane.
I see anything but jockeying. I see Lenny Lane doing what Lenny has done to this industry for over 20 years.
Look at the physique of Lane as he just takes down Mikey to his knees.
And that is dominating.
I don't think there's one man in this building who can win this test of strength against Lenny Lane. And it's now a bit of a submission hold. The referee asking Mikey if he's okay. Mikey with some crafty maneuverability there. Up on the ropes, what's he gonna do?
Oh, that's showboating.
I don't think so. Nice Hurricane Rana by Mikey Wipeout.
Oh, why don't you applaud him, Mark? He got lucky there with that. Those moves have cost him time in and time out.
Oh, and a poke to the eyes. Puts Lane back in control.
Hot dogging costs you. Hot dogging will cost you.
Dogging will cost you, but I don't know, cheating, poking a man in the eyes.
I didn't see any of that.
Oh, and Lane catches it. The strength on display that I was talking about moments ago by Lane. What's he gonna do with it?
You know what's gonna happen. Maybe not.
And he puts him on the apron of the ring to the outside.
Lane changing it up as Mikey has done.
He's gonna kick to the face. My goodness, I thought originally he was gonna go for a fall-away slam, a maneuver that he has done so well with in the past, but instead he opted for a simple kick to the face, and Mikey Wipeout goes splashing to the outside.
Well, then it would seem that maneuver was a success in both surprising and taking out Mikey Wipeout. Lane, usually just making his way to Wipeout, was just barely making his way to his feet. Lane's gonna help him in the ring.
A bit of a cocky strut by Lane on his way to his opponent.
Maybe not. Insult to injury, that's right. Lane's got a few more in the count.
Club in the back now. And he drives the back of Mikey Wipeout right into the edge of the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, this is incredible action. I expected nothing less, and we are getting nothing less than perfection here in tonight's main event. We will be back after these words from our sponsors on Primetime Wrestling. High Voltage Radio. Bloomington's #1 radio show is now also a podcast. Every week, Brian Johnson and Brian Schroeder interview exciting guests like Dive Kick World Champion Ben Chandler, Giovanni Peluso from Corolla Digital, and iGameResponsibly.com's Editor-in-Chief Dylan Zelmer. For all the video game and wrestling news and nonsensical nonsense, join the Brothers of Bloomington on High Voltage Radio Fridays at 11:10 Central. Available on iTunes. staying with us. That was our final commercial break. We will stay with you until the end of this matchup. Don't forget you can get tickets at ptwrestling.com and other information on Primetime Wrestling.
ptwrestling.com, and it's an amazing website, I will admit it. Lane held control throughout the break. This is the first offense we had seen from Wipeout.
Inverted atomic drop by Lane.
He might, oh God.
And a small package by Mikey.
1, 2, no.
Wipeout kicks out, Lenny kicks out just in the nick of time.
That's what you thought you were going to have to say as Wipeout's kicking out. I was surprised as you to see Lenny Lane in such a precarious position as that.
Wipeout with a high hip toss now on Lenny Lane. He has him in the corner. And is he going to do what I think he's going to do? Yes, he is. There he goes. He's hammering away on Lenny Lane. The end has got to be near for Lenny Lane now. I don't know how anyone can get up from that.
I am not liking that look in Lenny Lane's eyes. He looks like he is not all there.
Mikey going to the top rope now for a patented high-flying maneuver, but Lane, no!
The lights are not out. They might just be slightly dimmed.
Again, Lane showing why he is a true ring general. He knows where he is at all times in that ring.
And even on fumes, Lenny Lane's instincts are so strong. It has won him championships and helped him maintain and hold on to those championships for so long in some of the harshest, most roughest environments in all of professional wrestling history.
Lane bringing Mikey back into the ring now. He's not done with him yet.
It's those world's travels that Lenny Lane endured that gave him his cutthroat style.
A couple knees to the midsection now. And a third.
And if you're like me and you're one of Lenny's lambs,
red suplex into a powerbomb. 1, 2.
Oh, I thought he had him for the 3 count. You'll see amazing action like that and more. Again, folks, visit ptwrestling.com for tickets and information about Primetime Wrestling.
And this is truly the pinnacle of indie wrestling here in the Midwest, Primetime Wrestling.
This is the domain for professional wrestling in Minnesota. It is Primetime Wrestling.
The action is unsurpassed. The quality is not to be messed with. This is Primetime Wrestling. And Lenny Lane going to work now on Mikey Wipeout. A couple kicks to the midsection, slowly going to town here on Mikey Wipeout. Mikey not having any chance to catch his breath. See, it seems like Mikey Wipeout, his youthfulness might get the best of him from time to time.
It's what I was saying. Mark, what are you, a record? You're repeating what I said at the jump of this matchup.
Hey, records are very popular these days. And both men are laying on the canvas now. What is gonna happen?
That code breaker. Is it gonna be a... Oh, see, this is what we're talking about, that youthfulness.
Hey, look at that. Nose moonsault from the second rope.
1, 2, and...
Oh, no, I thought he was gonna get him for sure there.
Yeah, look at...
See that moonsault.
I thought he had him, and so did Wipeout.
Nicely done. You usually don't see that move from the second rope, which actually must be a lot harder than doing it from the third, if you think about it.
I will contend until proven otherwise that had Wipeout acted on that code breaker and went for the pinfall, he might have gotten the 3 count.
And Lane!
Instead!
Look at this now!
Instead!
Look at Lane! Lane is trying to get him in that Boston Crab! But no, Mikey powers out. Lane sent flying into the corner. Oh, and he catches him with an elbow right to the chin. High impact there. This is a brutal match if I've ever seen one. These two competitors are giving you everything they have.
They're going beyond that. These guys are pulling out some new tricks from their bag of tricks.
And look at Mikey Wipeout. He looks like he's just ran a marathon.
And so far, it's looking like Lenny Lane's bag of tricks are that much better and that much bigger than that.
Oh, and Mikey quick enough to move out of the ring at the last moment. Catches Lane. And a unique flying maneuver there by Wipeout.
He might have taken all the oxygen out of the lungs of Lenny Lane.
That's the way it looks.
There's that look again. Lenny is out on his feet. No, he's not.
Amazing. He was going to go for a sunset flip.
He was not. He's doing it.
Lane rolled right out.
Lenny, you have to capitalize. Capitalize, Lenny. Do it. Set it in.
He's cinched into that Boston Crab, one of the most painful, legendary holds in the sport of professional wrestling. Mikey Wipeout's gonna have no choice but to tap, unless he can make it to that rope, and I don't think he can.
Put a fork in the potato. That is Mikey Wipeout. He is done.
Lane knows how to apply that hold just right, at just the right angle, with just the right pressure. And look,
Case in point.
he taps out.
Yes.
Down right on him, and bent his legs in a way they never should have bent. And Mikey had no choice but to tap out.
Disrespectful little punks get what they get, and Lenny does it again. Proves why he's the best.
Lane, I gotta hand it to him.
Laszlo on the mic, once again.
Lane asking for the mic now.
Mikey Wipeout, I was wrong about you.
What?
You're a hell of a competitor. It took me a lot longer to beat you than I thought it would.
Same here. What do you got to say about that? What did you try to say?
It looks like just a show of good sportsmanship here by Lenny Lane. Nothing more, nothing less. I think Lane appreciates the athleticism involved with Mikey Wipeout in the match that they just had.
I don't like it one bit.
And wait a second. What is this now?
You know what this is, and this is something that might change my mood slightly.
I'm not so sure.
All this sportsmanship garbage.
There's Shikari and Davari and John Johnson. What are they doing out here? They have made their presence known throughout the evening.
Look at this newly formed duo is they're running roughshod, making their presence known.
And look at that. Davari goes and Johnson Wells attacking Mikey Wipeout.
What is Lane doing?
Lane, it seems. Oh, now what's this?
This is not your battle, Lenny. Leave.
Lane is trying to pull Davari and Johnson off of his competitor that he just beat in the middle of the ring.
It's in your interest. It is in your interest, Lenny. Get out of there.
At odds with Johnson and Davari?
I think he's at odds with himself right now.
Johnson's telling Lane and he kicks him right in the face. Oh my goodness.
Another superbly executed super kick.
Davari takes him out with a kick, and ladies and gentlemen, this has been an incredible night of professional wrestling. This is Primetime Wrestling, and we'll see you next time.